Hey YouTube community and fellow watch fans, welcome back to another episode of It's About Time. I'm Jared, you all know this is Drew, and today we're going to be talking about something a little bit interesting, at least we think. Some lesser known Swiss brands. Very good quality watches, maybe some brands you just haven't heard about, but they're still fantastic brands that really produce some quality watches, and we're going to hit on a few of them today. Before we do that, customary what's on the wrist check. Today for myself, the beautiful Orient Monarch. Power Reserve, I love it, simple. Drew doesn't love the leather band, I love it, it's great. And then also the blue Breguet hands.
Those are nice.
You just have to, he said something's nice. Gorgeous.
Well, we're going to go with one I just recently got.
Oh, Drew, wait a minute. Please tell them how the world timer works on that.
Don't rub it in. I haven't figured that out yet. I don't know everything about the damn watch industry. I'm just trying to tell you what I do know.
Oh, wait a minute. Can I say the name?
Yes, we're going to get there. Oh, shit. Okay, we gotta... And it's a geographic, okay? This came out, this one is specifically from 2000, so this is about 17 years old. This has several functions if you look on it. It does have the world timer, which I have no idea how to use yet. It has a dual timer.
So the whole reason why I got the watch.
That's second hand. Okay, right there is also a world timer. So if you go to California, you can then set that to California time. You'll know what time it is here.
But apparently, wait, I just want to point out for the record, apparently we're in the same time zone right now. Chicago, Denver, New York, Caracas, and I think there's one more. Amazing! I love it.
Oh, shut up.
Thank you, Susan LeCoute.
You got the little day-night indicator by that little dot right there that does turn white at night and blue during the day. Mm-hmm. And as well, you also have a power reserve. This is a very expensive watch. They usually retail anywhere between $7,000 and $9,000.
Yeah.
But
because you could be in the same time zone at the same time, that's why.
It's a good world traveler watch. So, anywho.
By the way, if you hear a little giggling in the background, that's the lovely camera woman, his wife.
You can't
just saying.
From laughing right now.
It's okay, she can if she wants.
Wonderful, well
it's
done.
Okay. So anyways, I'm going to kick off today's topic.
Good!
Since I kind of made him look a little bit bad on camera. Sorry, Drew, I love you. So today, lesser known Swiss brands. Just now, besides us talking about a watch that I'm probably going to be getting soon, we were just talking about some lesser known Swiss brands, still quality, and we came up with our list of 5 that we're going to go over. So at the top of my list is Mido. You guys know me, I have worn Midos in the past, especially the Great Wall. Automatic, fantastic. Fantastic watch, and they're absolutely great. A lot of quality to them, mainly distributed over in China and Japan, more in Asia. It's still a Swiss brand, been around for a long time, I think since around 1918, 1920, give or take. Great features, very beautiful looking watches. The quality, I'm going to be honest with you, not as good on some of their watches, I will admit. You know, their stainless steel bands do have a tendency to scratch up a little bit more than other brands. But nonetheless, still very affordable. Fantastic features, a lot of options. Not easy to get. You have to go to those sites that we were talking about a while ago. Please check our previous videos, Guide to Buying Swiss-Made Watches. Still a wonderful brand. And they're constantly coming out with new pieces, especially some of their Power Reserve watches. Their Baroncellis, 80-hour Power Reserves, and I believe 60-hour. But absolutely beautiful. Great for men's and women's watches, too.
I do like, one brand that I do like that I will be bringing out later in the series is Epos. Very high-grade Swiss brand. Usually they go anywhere between 1,000 and 3,000. It's a little-known Swiss manufactured brand. They do have limited distribution as well. You see them a lot in Europe. You see them a little bit in Asia as well, as with Mido. And you don't see them in stores.
It's like Mito, very limited distribution.
Hard to find. In terms,
I think it's actually even harder to find than Mito is, personally.
It is harder to find the Mito. You can get them every once in a while on one of the websites. eBay does carry them from time to time.
There's a good amount on eBay.
Yeah, what's good about Epos is they redesign...
However, not as many with the stainless steel band offerings, more with the leather and straps and things.
That's like true. But they do redesign the Swiss-made image. What I like about... I have a triple date by them. And what's good is they're very functional. They have 4 pushers for the triple date. So I can tell the day, the date, the month, and the moon phase all in 4 quick pushers. Unlike a lot of triple dates where there's always one feature that you have to manually do, they innovated that design where everything is quick set. So it's a lot easier for somebody to pick it up and then just set it real quickly. And they do have a lot of real interesting designs. They're doing a lot of nice skeleton designs, as well as a lot of retrograde features as well. Over to you.
Okay. So for my next one, it's, by the way, Mito spelled M-I-D-O, for those of you who want to research it. Epos, E-P-O-S.
Correct.
Eterna is my next brand. I've never owned one, personally. I've looked at them. But they were actually the first Swiss watch company. They invented the ball bearings. If it wasn't for them, we wouldn't have had the rotor that spinned around the watches. Excuse the sound, that's my lovely wife coming down the stairs. So, Eterna, they started, I think it was like the late 1800s. I'm not sure exactly. I actually have to look them up, which I'm actually about to do right now. I just want to double check for myself while I talk about the different features. They are packed, loaded, jammed with features. They have watches that are simplistic as like having a date function all the way up to like a triple date, chronograph, moon phase, literally everything. Eterna, let me just see if I can find this. Eterna watches. What I like about them, again, they offer watches, leather straps, stainless steel, whatever it is, very good water resistance on them. For a triple date moon phase, they offer 5 ATM. That's actually very, very good for a watch like that.
As does Epos as well.
Yeah, it's just 1856 as a matter of fact, which to me, obviously that's why they invented the ball bearing.
They do go back. Their history does go back a long way.
1856 is ridiculous. Now their logo is 5 kind of like circles like in a row, and that represents the ball bearing system. Most
Pentagon.
It's 5. However, most watches nowadays utilize 3. So very interesting just with Eterna. They're just a very good watch brand. They're a little bit pricier, at least in my opinion, for those of you who are looking to research and pick one up. Very good brand, very reliable. They utilize the ETA value 7750 and 7751 movements, which are top of the line chronographs for the triple date. Like I said, I've looked at some Eternas, never pulled the trigger on them. My personal opinion, I'm going to throw this out there. Drew will disagree with me. The problem is, my only downside to just a triple date moon phase with literally everything in it, when one part goes, the whole watch goes, and it gets very expensive to start repairing it and everything. So that's my only kind of downside with that. But in terms of a brand, they're fantastic. A lot of great offerings. They've been around for a very long time. They have a very rich history, and I would absolutely recommend them.
My next brand I'm going to go with actually is a piggyback off Epos, Mira, M-I-R-A. You don't see a lot of these watches either. eBay has a couple of them, another little-known Swiss brand. What Mira does...
They'll be featured at Baselworld, actually, 2017, coming up soon.
Yes. What Mira does that's really cool is they reinvent the retrograde. If you like retrograde watches, and the coolest ones...
It's a niche market.
Right. Okay.
It's a niche market.
If you want to tell time differently, I would recommend Mira, because Mira does have
a lot of... Do they have jump hours? Or regulators?
They do. I think they do have a jump hour, as well as Epos. They do have it as well. But a regulator, no. What they're known for is splitting time in half.
On one side, you're going to have the hours retrograding this way and the minutes retrograding this way. And you're going to have a 24-hour wheel on the bottom. That's pretty much the design they're known for, which is really cool.
It takes time to get used to something like that. Just keep that in mind.
That's what I said. If you like telling time differently, if you don't want to tell it the standard way, I would recommend going to Mira. It's just an interesting, unique way. It'll get a lot of compliments. It'll get a lot of, what the hell is that on your wrist? Because it's a good talking piece. So it's for people who don't want to be the norm and tell time the normal way. So I do recommend Mira as a little-known Swiss brand that does give a unique look to the Swiss industry.
Cool. My next brand is Fortis. They're another very good Swiss manufacturer. Very deep history. They kind of originally made a lot of their marks bigger time with space exploration, mainly with the Russians. Fortis and Russia partnered, and they sent a lot of watches to space. They have a very high tolerance for shock and magnetism, which is very good. Maybe not as high as other brands, but still very, very quality. One of the ones that I'm looking at right now, I'm a huge fan personally. Day-Date chronograph. Minus the moon phase and all that other stuff, because I personally don't care as much about a moon phase. I don't care where the moon is. I can just look up at the stars, or the sky at least. But a very, very solid company. Very good watches. Actually, one of the watches, the Cosmograph, I believe it is, class gets a reissue of a previous watch. It's very cool. They utilize a ceramic bezel. How nice is that? To have a sapphire crystal, anti-reflective on both sides, slightly domed but barely, and also having ceramic bezel. Good luck banging that into something. Not a lot of scratches, but again, yes, it can ship, like we talked about in previous episodes with the bands. But also what I like about Fortis, I was just showing Drew today, besides having good water resistance, they actually, for their chronographs, not all brands do this, they have for their chronograph pushers, I know Invicta is one of the brands that do this. I'm not saying Invicta is a great brand because it's one of our worst. But they do have extra security screw down pushers for the chronograph. Not every brand does that. It's an extra way to, in case you're underwater or doing something and you think you're going to push the button somehow. Most people don't, but if you do, it's just an extra added level of security. It's like a screw down crown on a watch and crown guards. Any way you can protect yourself with a watch, it's the way to do it, especially if you're going to the shower and you're just using the chronograph. Maybe you don't realize something's up and running or opening. So that's another thing that I like about them. And then one more thing I did want to mention. I know Breitling, Rolex, a little bit of Oris does this too, especially with Dave's, our friend, new watch. Catch him in previous episodes. They have the clasp that has different pin settings, so like you can adjust it via the clasp. I think it has like 4 different settings. Usually it's an extra 5 to 8 millimeters or so. I personally love it. Instead of taking out a full link or a half link, just take out as many links as you need and then adjust it via the clasp, which I personally like. And also it has, like Breitling does this, and I know Rolex does too. Some Omega maybe. The fold over security with the clasp to make sure it doesn't come off. Absolutely fantastic.
A wild card pick of mine that I'll pick next is Van Cure. Van Cure is not around anymore, unfortunately. The brand was around, I'd say, from about early 2000s.
Early to mid 2000s.
Yeah, I'd say between around 2003 and they went...
About 5 to 8 years.
Yeah, about belly up around 2011, 2012.
And we still can't figure out why.
No, really good watches. I mean, they had nice automatic movements in them, pretty sturdy. They have really, really unique, classic Roman-looking designs. You got that Romanesque feel to it.
Automatics and quartz.
They got the mix of both. They do use the their later brands
by the way,
right before they went out.
VANCEUR for those of you who are interested in researching it. Good luck finding any out there. They pop up on eBay once every 6 months.
Yeah. Okay. There's a couple. They made both ladies and men's watches, and their last models before they went out of business they were using the 7750 Gaussian movements for their automatic watches. Really nice.
Good luck finding that one. The last one that they issued, extremely rare.
Yeah, really nice. They had some racing watches, they had some automatics, they had some quartz. Unfortunately, they're not around anymore, but if you can pick one up, if you do find one, they just really are good quality and really nice lookers along the way. So
So before I get on my next one, Mido, spelled M-I-D-O, Eterna, spelled E-T-E-R-N-A, Fortis, F-O-R-T-I-S. On their website, I don't think it translates. It's in German, I believe. Certina is my next one, C-E-R-T-I-N-A. You guys have seen me wear my DS2 chronograph before. Again, a great company because it, like Van Cure, actually Van Cure-esque-ish a little bit in terms of they offer quartz and automatic. I really like them. Very high precision quartz movements, very solid automatic movements too, with good power reserve. They offer a little bit of everything, racing inspired, fantastic water resistance. They're sport watches, they keep you dressy too. I actually happen to really like them a lot. Not easy to find and get, although if you go through some more international websites, you'll be able to find them and order them directly through Certina. They will, I guess, produce them on demand, or if there's an order that comes in and ship it out to you, very quick shipping times. So I highly suggest that brand. They're fantastic. Last one for you.
Last one for me, it would have to be...
Let me guess. Oars.
We talk a lot about them, but nobody else really does unless you see them here and there. You really can't find them too much store-wise.
And we were a little disappointed in Atlantic City, too.
Yeah, for those of you who liked our last episode of Pet Peeves, we do thank you for that. It was a fun episode to do in our robes. So we're back
the
here.
chest.
Yes, it was a fun trip, and it was a great time we had at the Borgata. And one of the things that when we went to the Tropicana we were looking for so we could do some advertisement there was for oars, but unfortunately... They aren't Corey. Yeah, they left.
But you can still order them through them.
Correct.
I can't remember the name of the store even, so I'm not going to say it.
Yes, I mean, to a lesser extent. But both Oars and another brand, Corum, are two watch brands that are pretty big in the watch industry. You just won't hear about them over here. Like we said, Oars is a throwback brand. Goes back to more of those 1930s, 1940s vintage look. Has a lot of different styles to them.
Mm-hmm.
Both...
Sorry, I'm turning on the TV.
95% deal in automatic. That's what they do. They make automatic and they make it well. Mm-hmm. The only downside to Oris a little bit is the water resistance. A lot of water resistance watches you'll find better in other brands outside of Oris. But look for something in the 5 ATM range, if I could recommend that. And their divers watches are fantastic. Mm-hmm. They're right up there with Rolex in terms of they do make regulators. They make a lot of great pieces. So I do recommend Doris and, like I said, Corum to an extent as well. They are known for a lot of their designs with the sailing industry. What they do and they do well is for a lot of people that are into yachting, into sailing, and their admirals are their representation of what they bring to the Swiss watch industry. So Corum and Oris together as a package, which you really don't see in stores.
He's such a cheater. He puts two in one. What a cheater.
I try.
Anyways, I'm going to go with another little bit of a wild card. I'm going to say it trumps every single brand that we've done yet.
What's
today.
that?
Frederic Constant. And why, you think?
Oh, I don't think it trumps some of the brands we've done today. But
yeah.
it's a cute little brand.
Well, okay. I'll put it on the level of Oris. And why do you think that is? I'm going to give you a guess as to why. Now, once you reach this level in watchmaking, you've reached the pinnacle, kind of.
Because they make their own movements.
Correct! High five. Frederic Constant makes their own movements, manufacturer. With their moon phase slimline automatics, just absolutely amazing. They're more dressier piece. They're not sports. You're not going to be wearing them on the beach, really. They're dressier pieces. I've had them. I love them. Pretty damn accurate, too. Really can't complain. But, it's like a little Cartier-esque with the Roman numerals and the Van Cure that we were just talking about. They're a really great brand. I think that they were started in the 80s or so, or in the 80s or 90s, by Peter Stas and his wife, I believe. That's it. Correct me if I'm wrong. But they're a really great brand. You can really mix and match those, the leather bands and the mesh bracelets, and you can really put anything you want on them. Their lug widths accommodate them, which is great. But I really respect them for being an independent brand like Oris's and manufacturing their own movements. So that's the reason why I'm going to throw them in there.
Yeah, they're more of a simple brand. They like to
Yeah,
simplify
they're not
things.
complicated at all.
They do have a nice world timer, which I still don't know how to use. And
Wow, like you know how to use this one.
I just said I don't know how to use it, you jerk.
Well,
exactly. So, I mean, what do you want me to tell you? I mean, I don't know how to use it yet. Maybe in future episodes I will learn how to use a world timer, but right now it just looks cool, and that's the whole point with Frederick Constant.
Maybe the next one. Anyways, I'm gonna have Drew finish this episode for us. I'm gonna go catch you guys later. My wife is making dinner. Drew, please take them out.
Okay, well, everybody, we thank you again. Please like us on Facebook. Watch our videos. We will be coming out with more later in the season. We will actually be at the beach doing some beach episodes later on this summer. So look for that as well. And we thank you for joining us here. And our next video should be sometime, probably Tuesday next week. And we will see you next time on It's About Time.